Hey everybody, Audrey here, the Fit, Fearless, and Faithful Mom. Thanks so much for coming back. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. We'd love for you to tap that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so that you can join me and my community in the future. Would love to have you. I relate fitness to my faith. I talk a lot about my faith journey and what I'm learning and so forth, so come along for the ride. Today, this is a collaborative video with my good friend Deena, and I'm so excited about it. Deena has a fantastic channel. She's a fantastic individual, and I love her wisdom. I love listening to her voice. It's really soothing, and it's just beautiful to listen to her faith story, why she attends the Latin Mass, and all about the Latin Mass. So go check her channel out. And I'm so thankful to have gotten to know her through this whole YouTube journey. So let's get started. This video, we are talking about why we veil. I'm gonna kind of share a little bit of my story with you and give a little background to veiling as well. Deena's link to her video will be down below in my description box as well. So let's get started. All right, so when you think about veiling, it's an old tradition, right? But it's making a comeback, and it's making a comeback in a really big, awesome way. So what's my story? All right, I used to see my old Italian grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunts, they would veil in Mass, and I was like, Mom, what gives? And she was like, oh, we used to do that, and you know, back in the day, and because my mom used to veil as well until Vatican II, and then like the veiling, like people were like, hey, look, you don't really have to do this anymore. So she stopped. Now, what she did tell me was that if you didn't have a veil, that she wore a tissue on her head so that her head was covered in some way. I think she said she had to do it like once or twice because she didn't have her veil. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so that was my experience with veiling. Then 2.5 years ago, when we moved into the home that we're in right now, there's a church right up the street from us. And so, call me a church hopper, I guess, but we do have a home-based parish, and I love going to the 7:30 Mass. However, some mornings, we just don't make it, and within walking distance, I can be at Mass for 8 o'clock, so that like 30-minute difference makes a difference. All right, now, when we moved, and we went to 8 o'clock Mass, I looked over yonder and I saw a woman wearing a black veil, and she was around my age, and I was like, huh, I've never seen someone under the age of, I'll say 70 or 80 wearing a veil. So it kind of got me thinking, seeing this woman, like, wow, this is so beautiful. What gives? Then, God's funny. Here's where God kind of starts like giving you those little nudges, right? Well, a couple months later, then an article came up just randomly about veiling. And so I read it, and that was now 2 years ago. Okay, fast forward a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, videos of Catholic YouTubers popped up on why they veil. And I said, okay. All right, I don't really know, like nobody veils, and is it old? Are people gonna think I'm weird? I really don't know, and I started getting really nervous. Then, as I'm diving more, like even deeper into my faith, I started thinking about it more, and when we think about it more and we align what God wants to what we're kind of thinking about, sometimes those two just have to come together. Now, of course, I'm human. I was like, oh, no, God. I don't really think this is going to happen. But it did, because it was about 5 weeks ago now. We were getting ready for Mass, and I was wearing one of my maxi dresses, and I always put on something over it because I don't like bare shoulders in church. I don't like that. And so I'll either put a sweater on or a jean jacket. And so I put my jean jacket on, and I was like, you know what? Something is still missing. Something's missing here. And I went through, I have some scarves, and maybe this will work, but it was just not the right thing. So I felt naked about 5 weeks ago. So it took about 2.5 years, I guess, for me to actually follow and like listen to Christ, I guess, with that little nudge. And so here's what's happened in the past 5 weeks, is that first, I feel beautiful veiling, because I feel like I am even more put together for Christ. And I love Mary. I have such a huge devotion to Mary. And so by veiling, I feel closer to her, you know, like looking at her picture and her with her veil on. And so I feel closer to Christ. I feel like, oh man, like I am in his presence. And was I nervous at first to veil? Yeah, but you know what? No one was even looking. And I was thinking about this too, is that by being nervous about veiling, it was kind of prideful, right? Because I shouldn't be worried about what anybody else thinks. And you know what was ridiculous is that I was kind of worried about what my priest would think, whether it was at my home parish or the parish that's down the street. Like, what are they gonna think? Are they gonna think like I'm crazy? I mean, I'm already kneeling, and like, what? Oh, I don't really. But so it was, yeah, I don't know, but it was fine. It was totally fine. The second week that I veiled was perfectly fine, and so it's been this continuous love of wearing a veil at Mass and being covered in the Lord's presence, because we are in the Lord's presence. And you know, I had mentioned it in my liturgical abuse video that not everyone believes in the presence of Christ in the Eucharist, but he's there. I promise you, he's there. Study. Anyway, so I want to veil, and I want to be in the presence of the Lord in the most respectful way as possible. And so here is where to go. Here are some things that I wanted to share with you on veiling. Okay, first of all, it's in the New Testament. So 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5, but every woman praying or prophesying with her head not covered disgraceth her head. Therefore, ought the woman to have a power over her head because of the angels. So I thought that was really beautiful. Okay, so according to canon law, 1262 of the 1917 Code of Canon Law states that women shall have a covered head and be modestly dressed. That's a whole nother story for another day. Especially when they approach the table of the Lord. The release of the 1983 Code of Canon Law omitted 1262, thereby removing the obligation. So, no, we are no longer obligated to cover our heads, but we're approaching Christ. Like, so I've chosen to veil. That's just me. It's tradition, okay? It accentuates natural beauty. So I told you that it, like, I don't know, I feel beautiful when I veil. And it's not like I'm veiling and I'm like, oh, look at me, everybody. Like, hey, check this out. Because believe me, I do not, like, I still am getting little butterflies over veiling, you know, and I'm trying to get over that, but really, like, not many people are looking. So St. Thomas Aquinas explains in his commentary on veiling that human beings in general naturally augment their natural beauty with clothing. In general, we want to bring the best of ourselves to liturgy, and veiling is a way of doing so. The beauty of the veil is something that honors God in the same way beautiful architecture or beautiful vestments do. Why am I going to cry? They contribute to giving God the worship that is due to him. So, you know, when we think about like how beautiful like we are God's creation. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, let me just do one more. Okay, here are some other things that are veiled. The tabernacle, the chalice, the altar are often veiled. A veiled woman shows reverence for God, symbolizing the veiled bride of the church, but also honors herself as a woman before God. A woman should not wear the veil on her head until she is wearing it first, interiorly, in her heart. When St. Veronica saw Jesus carrying his cross, she took off her veil and gave it to him to wipe his face. He handed the veil back to her, and it had the image of his face on it. In this way, Christ gave a special blessing to the practice of wearing a veil. Even St. Veronica's name comes from this event. She is called Vera Icon, which means the true image of Christ. So look, I can keep going on, but those are my my favorite reasons for veiling. And what's really cool, so I've been veiling for just over a month now. When I was ordering veils, but Kyler came up to me because I had asked her, I said, hey, I'm gonna start veiling. If you want, would you like to veil with me? There is no pressure at all. And she said, yeah, I'd really like to. I said, okay. So we picked out a veil. She did. She picked out a veil. I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, so Kyler picked out this veil. It's so soft. So this will be linked down below. And then, awesome, is as we were doing that, little Marie, she said, what are you guys doing? I want one for me too. So she picked out this one, and she looks adorable. Both of them are just, they're beautiful in it. But they do have white. So if you are not married, traditionally you wear white. So both of these will be linked below. If you are married, you do wear black. So I do have this one. One of the things that is coming is our wig clips, because I don't want to keep putting bobby pins in these. So yeah, and it's not super long. I have seen them that are super duper long, but I don't know. I like this one. This is a medium length. So I have this one that I wear and I love it. It comes from Veils by Tradition. So I have taken a bobby pin and kind of put it in here, but the wig clips are coming, and so I'll be using those. Now, I got a little veil happy, and okay, so I know traditionally black. However, I'll give you a little hint on when I'm recording this. Today is the Assumption. And so I actually did wear my blue one. So I do have blue because I was reading that for different feast days, you can wear different ones. So I actually did wear my blue one today because it's the Feast of the Assumption. So I'll wear this one on the Immaculate Conception as well, and the Solemnity of Mary to honor Mary. I do have this one, it's cream, this scarlet one. It's for Pentecost. And the Passion, and why am I forgetting? The third Sunday of Advent. What's wrong with me? So yeah, so I do have this one, and then this one is rose below the article that I had read on the different colors. If you are considering veiling, keep praying about it, because again, it took me 2.5 years to get here, and I really am happy that I'm veiling now. And man, it's really amazing how many other women are veiling as well, right alongside with me. So let me know. Go check out Deena's channel. Such a good friend of mine. So happy to have her in my life. Her video is linked down below. Remember, tap that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so that you can join me in the future. Would love for you to come back and hang out. Comment below if you veil, if you don't veil, why you do, why you don't. Let me know so that we can have a little chit chat. Have a great day. If I can pray for you in any way, let me know. Bye, everybody.